Okay, hi, good morning. I hope that we are doing this as prescribed or as instructed. I believe I am. I think you said general reading, mystical moments deck with all of the kings, all of the male kings and emperor outside of the deck. So I took those out and we're doing a general reading. So, and then we're going to clarify with the universal weight deck, which is, I think you like that. So I hope that's correct. I did send you an email about 20 minutes ago just to let you know that I was doing this. So hopefully you are grounding somewhere as we do this. And I am just going to connect and ask the cards, what is it that you need to know at this time? What do we need to look at? What do we need to be aware of? And see what they say to us. Okay, so we know this from having done other readings that this is your center, where you're kind of centered at what you could potentially be creating or working towards, working on, not only in the now, but also possibly in the future. This is the Six of Pentacles, not a bad card. I actually kind of like this card. The Six of Pentacles would indicate sort of, coming together, charitable acts, appreciating others, allowing others to appreciate you, balance, maintaining balance, like financially, in physical matters, in your environment, that sort of a thing, keeping things rather even keel. I do like that these two ladies are kind of like discussing things. I'm just going more with the art right now. I like that they're sort of discussing with each other. There might be secrets being traded. I don't know why I feel this way, but I feel like both of these ladies are aspects of yourself, right? And I feel like we see the symbol of the balance here in the teacup as it's tilting over. That we have the, I don't know how well you can see it because of the sunlight, but there's the symbol sort of for like Libra, the scales there. And the teacup is sort of dripping tea forward, and as they're enjoying their tea amongst one another, right? I kind of feel like this is you having a dialogue with yourself. I know that sounds strange, and that's not necessarily a Six of Pentacles description, but it's what I'm getting from this artwork and kind of the feel of the card. All of this is to sort of find and maintain like a balance within. I like this as your center because it's like we're kind of processing things not only internally, right? Like these, I almost feel like, how do I want to describe this? Like this is the ego slash mind versus the spirit slash intuition kind of coming together and having a discussion. And yes, there's these driplets of tea, right? These droplets of tea. To me, this is like a little bit of emotions are coming up, or maybe we're dealing with things piece by piece as we go. And I like the cherry blossoms and the flowers in the background, which says to me that like the focus right now would be on in support and on in focus of our own growth. Both emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And I feel like this is all coming together in this Six of Pentacles, right? This sort of meeting of the minds, but both of these minds, so to speak, are you. And coming together, putting both on sort of like an even playing field. One lady sort of looking down towards the other, but I feel like we're kind of, everybody's coming to the table in your world, if that makes sense. And sort of, we are sorting through it. There's other stuff that's still kind of, to me, in the teapot that's waiting to be dealt with, but we're handling it as it comes up. We're handling it in a sort of calm and orderly fashion. That's sort of the feeling that I'm getting from this card, and I like that this is the center. I like that the focus is this is getting our world in order in the sense that it is a Pentacles card, so we're talking about, grounded earth energy, material wealth, where we are in our world and how we fit in it. but we're bringing about a balance to all of it. So I like this card here. Let's just say that. Now, down in the foundation, this would represent the past, what was going on in the past, and why things sort of are the way that they are today, what sort of brought things about. So this is the Three of Pentacles. So to me, the Three of Pentacles always signifies sort of good work, or things getting done in a very positive way through collaboration. When I look at this girl here, she's sort of building this brick wall with these two birds. But to me, the brick wall is actually a flower. I feel like some of the things that maybe have caged us in the past or bothered us in the past, if we've sort of, she could be seen or perceived as building this wall, but she could also be dismantling this wall. But ultimately, to me, this wall is also the flower. So sort of limitations or things of the past, I kind of feel like either at some point in time they became, how do I want to describe this? Like they became assets, even though at maybe a time in the past they didn't seem as so. Does that make sense to you? I hope that makes sense to you. Again, even though this is about collaboration and working with others, I feel like this is about you. This is about maybe you working through your difficulties with others and finding your own answers. And we see that too also in the Six, right? Where I feel as though this is two different aspects of yourself kind of talking to one another, working through anything that's sort of emotionally challenging or not in complete and total balance yet, but everything's sort of maintained is the feeling that I get. That's the teapot. Down here, it feels like through struggles that we've dealt with in the past, i.e. this brick wall, we've been able to sort of see the positive ultimately in the end. If we've had help from others to get through these situations, great. But did we need that help? Not necessarily. That's sort of the feeling that I'm getting. The fact that we have been able to work through these things and see them in a different light and understand, maybe it's almost like maybe we've transformed what used to be considered walls, hurdles, or obstacles into the beauty that is this flower, into the building blocks that has sort of made us who we are today. And we clearly understand that in the Six of Pentacles, right? We clearly understand that through, just kind of sitting down and fleshing things out, growth, abundance, all of that sort of stuff will come to us. Harmony, even, like I get a harmony from this card here in the center. So if you're seeking harmony right now, just keep on the sort of track that you're on or the path that you're on. I feel like it's there for you. Also, the Three of Pentacles would be a beneficial foundation card in the sense that this kind of success through collaboration, although it's from the past, it's sort of what everything is built upon, right? So we're built upon a Pentacles energy, which is earth, material wealth, that sort of a thing down here in the foundation. But it's also about successful collaboration, whether that's collaboration amongst ourselves, right? Or with others. We're doing it successfully, and we've done it successfully in the past, even if we've had to overcome our own struggles, right? But that's also sort of pushing the now, or pushing this narrative here that we have in the Six of Pentacles here, which is challenging you to kind of look at where you want to be, how do you want to feel, what is it going to look like, where does it bring you where does it bring you happiness or balance in your life? And you're having that discussion, and you may be having this discussion with others too around you that are close to you, but I ultimately feel like this is also a discussion that's happening within yourself. Now, the Spirit or Soul card, this tells me where your spirit or soul is at. I love this. This is the Sun card. Highly affirmative, highly positive, also very much major arcana. So this is your strongest card on the board. But I love that we have both of these two Pentacles cards. Both of these are beneficial Pentacles cards as your earthbound body. Up in your spirit, you have the power and the energy of the Sun. The Sun to me is Leo energy. I mean, not to me, but it is Leo energy. So it should feel generous, indulgent, opulent. Our spirit, when we connect to it, I think helps us to see the way clearly. It's kind of the feeling that I'm getting from this. And I see that here also, in this work that's being done, this discussion that's happening internally in your center right now. It's grounded. It's what's the word? I mean, I always associate this card with charity, right? And coming together and sort of doing kind acts for people, but I kind of feel like the kind acts may be towards yourself at this point in time, and I think that that's a beautiful thing. And your spirit is like shining that light on that, wants more of that. Continue forward, like it's all for you doing that. Does that make sense? And so I feel like at the spirit level or your soul level, there is a beam or a shining, like the energy, the light, all of that the sun would represent is happening up here. The power to push forward, you have it at your availability or at your disposal, so to speak, in droves, right? So even if things might be feeling like they're moving a little bit slow because Pentacles energy is going to be a bit slower, and maybe it might be a little bit sort of, I don't feel like it's emotionally challenging, but there is a little bit, these tea droplets keep pulling my attention, like there is a little bit of like emotions that you are working through bit by bit, but it's not overwhelming you, is the feeling that I get. And you're doing it in a way that's constructive, and in a way that is also built on this Three of Pentacles. To me, it feels like, we've learned from our past. We've learned from how to maneuver our way through situations or ideas or beliefs of ours or others that may appear to be challenging to us. And we've turned them into things that actually work for us, that are beautiful for us. That's the bricks in the flower that we see here, right? Like that brick wall, whether she's dismantling it or she's putting it together, which you could say she is putting it together, but I feel like from the past, we've maybe dismantled some of the past, where we understand the purpose of whatever hurdles we dealt with in the past and why we needed to go through them, because it sort of set us up for where we are now. Now, the other two outside influences, these are things that are affecting you either positively or negatively. These can be, people, events, sometimes belief systems, or energies that are having an effect. So I have the Queen of Cups on one side. This could be a female outside of you. This would definitely be a female that is emotional, intuitive. I kind of get a sense that there could be a bit of a depression with this person if this is a person outside of you. If this is not a person outside of you, let's just say this is like sort of situational energy or something like that. I always get this sense of fragility with this particular queen, not only in the way that she's holding this seahorse, in the way that she's holding this seahorse, like she's babying the seahorse, but also in this shell that she sits on, right? I always feel like there's a fragility to her in this particular artwork. There could be somebody that is sort of, I don't know, maybe forlorn. She misses you. I almost want to ask, is there some sort of maybe a friendship or somebody that was maybe like a sister to you that has been cut out? I know that sounds strange. That may sound strange. The reason why I ask is because not only do we have collaboration here, but we also have these two ladies talking here. And so is there somebody, be it a good friend, a sister, your mother, somebody that would be dear to you, that would feel emotionally towards you quite deeply? I don't get a feeling that we were still in communication with her. I feel like that's sort of the forlorn nature of this woman. Maybe she's somebody that we don't trust anymore, or we've had a go with. Maybe she's been a bit too emotional for us in the past. All of the, or she might be too emotional for us right now even. All of this Pentacles energy would indicate sort of an opposite to what this Queen of Cups represents, because she is the Queen of Cups. She represents, cups upon cups. So she would be emotions upon emotions. This could be emotional situations, though. It doesn't necessarily have to be a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio person around you. But if there is somebody and it doesn't have to be a water sign either, but if there's a female that you haven't felt, that you were at one point in time very close to, emotionally connected with, and you guys are sort of out either within a long distance situation where you don't speak as much anymore, I feel like she's affecting some of this, if that makes sense. If not, if this is situational, then this would be situations that are require your intuition, require you, that probably tug at you emotionally, that can feel a little bit overwhelming at times. And they could be going on around you, although I do feel like you and your center are holding strong with this Six of Pentacles, right? With all of this Pentacles energy. The other side of the coin here is we have the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is about defending our space, defending where we need to be. To me, I feel like with this particular design, with this male, it feels like there might be an opportunity to break free of something, that could potentially have been holding us back in some way, shape, or form. And again, I'm going to go back to this Queen of Cups. Is there some sort of relationship, friendship or otherwise, that possibly is unresolved in our world? We may be okay with it at some level, but it still lingers, I feel like. And I feel like this, sorry, the dogs are snoring all underneath the desk. I feel like this Seven of Wands also indicates maybe us sort of standing firm in what we've done or the decisions that we've made, maybe around, say, this friendship or this relationship. But those things might be coming back up for us again. Not hugely, but enough that we're sort of contemplating, do I need to go back there and make, not necessarily right on that situation, but do I need to revisit that? Let's get into the clarifiers and see before we go for an outcome. Ultimately, this sun up in the top here says to me that you know the right answer. You're going to know it if you don't feel as though you do. It's just interesting to me because the Six of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles both indicate sort of, charity and then collaboration. So it makes me question whether, and this can also be the perception of others and fighting and standing against that, but this is an outside influence. And in this very particular, that was the Eight of Swords, just so you know, because sometimes when things pop out, we want to know what they are. In this particular design, though, it feels like breaking free of, like, say, the molds or the ideas of what others place upon you. If there's somebody that might, that you may love dearly, that cares about you, that might place some sort of emotional bearing on you that feels unfair, that might be limiting in some way. That's not necessarily a Queen of Cups meaning, but with her, I feel this forlorn nature. I feel this sort of, I don't know, like maybe her mental health is off. This doesn't also, we can also, this doesn't necessarily have to be a female either, but it's definitely a feminine energy or somebody that would require a lot of emotional upkeep in a way. So let's see what's going on with the Six of Pentacles. So we have the Ace of Swords, which would be clear thoughts, new ideas, new contracts, new ways of perceiving things. There is a celebratory aspect to the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords would also be about indicating, the Ace to me always indicates the focus on self, even though the Six of Pentacles is a charitable card, right? Where we may be having a discussion with ourselves or revisiting a relationship that might be from the past that could be kind of, I don't want to say haunting us, but I feel like she's somewhere in the background or there is something emotional that's like kind of lingering. And it's an opportunity to either, not only through standing our ground, but also break free is sort of the feeling that I'm getting. There's something going on there. Whether these two situations are connected together or they're separate, there's some things, some challenges, both emotional and also Wands is the element of fire in the spirit, but to me it's like we may have to defend our stance, defend our beliefs, right? These beliefs to us, or these thoughts, are becoming clearer and clearer and stronger and will bring us the decisions that we need. That's this Ace of Swords to me. But the focus is about us, on us first and foremost. Then with the Ace of Swords, we have the Five of Cups. So the Five of Cups would indicate, sort of, it's the kind of like the crying over spilled milk card. To me, again, it kind of goes to this Queen of Cups. It's interesting because I'm not sure if this figure is in your life, if there is somebody or an emotional situation that needs to be, I don't want to say revisited, but it's asking for your attention. If it's not a person, it's an experience. uh, I also feel like it's very dear to you, or was at one point, and you were to it, right? If this is not a person. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. The Five of Cups would indicate sort of the sadness of maybe the loss of this or the distance that's been placed with this person or this situation. And then we have the Three of Swords, which would also be heartache. When I look at this run of cards, I almost want to say, like, it feels like what you're trying to stay true to is your own self. You're acknowledging the reality of whatever had happened, maybe from the past or from, this person or situation. She's not completely gone, though, or it's not completely out of the picture. It still affects all of this, right? And although you're trying to do your best to kind of keep your space, have your conversation amongst yourself, and you have had clear thought around it, that's that Ace of Swords, it still doesn't necessarily negate the past pain or the sadness of the loss of it, right? And so let's go to this Three of Pentacles and see what's going on with this Three of Pentacles. On the Three of Pentacles, we have the Six of Swords, which would be moving to calmer waters, departing, right? This is something where I do feel like somehow we moved away from this situation in the past. I'm not so sure that this situation isn't this Queen of Cups. But moving away to kind of clear our mind, to take whatever was a struggle and turn it into something, maybe a lesson that we have learned from, that's made us stronger, that has benefited us in some way, shape, or form. But we did have to remove ourselves. And I think that this removal also is in the clear thinking of this Ace of Swords. We have the Judgment, which would be answering the call, listening to our higher self, listening to sort of our guides, moving in a direction that maybe might have been sort of more intuitively guided or spiritually guided versus, staying and fighting. Or I don't know why I'm sort of feeling this. When I look at this Three of Pentacles and this Judgment card, to me, this feels like us having to remove ourselves. Because if we don't, it's not going to change or get better. And then we have the Four of Wands. And ultimately, that Four of Wands would be about celebration. It would be about the spirit. It would be about listening to what we need or where we need to be, versus maybe what others require of us. And I think that ultimately that has brought us peace. I mean, do we still wince a little bit at the past or think about it? And yes, but it's not as, I don't know, it's not as detrimental. To us today. It's like, when I look at this, it's like through hard work and effort on our own, and maybe with the help of others, maybe not, we've gone and we've moved ourselves away from something that actually brought us back in the past joy, celebration, and peace, right? But there might be something now in the present where we're looking back and going, did I do the right thing? I feel as though, yes, you did, but you might still feel like the emotional tinge. There might be a few little emotions still there, thoughts still there, that although you're trying to maintain your space, keep your clarity, this situation or person may still tap into you somewhere. So with the Sun, we have the Knight of Wands, Again, fire energy going along with that Leo energy, doing the right thing for the right reasons, being diplomatic, being in servitude, moving quickly, making decisions, not even impulsively, but quickly, right? The only thing with the Knight of Wands is, does it have staying power? But with that Sun there, I believe as though it does. The Ace of Cups, beautiful. This is about being like sort of in touch with your emotions, also allowing your emotions to guide you. All of this fire energy would be attached to the spirit. So these are like really beautiful cards. And then we have the Hermit, which would be about spiritual understanding, the sign of Virgo. And through doing the hard work, we gain the sort of knowledge that we need at a higher level, right? So when I'm looking at this, like this run of cards to me all feels beneficial. It all is connected to spirit. They feel like they're in the right place, not only emotionally, but spiritually, intelligence wise, our awareness of ourselves and the work that we've done, or that we've maybe needed to even pull away, because that would be the Hermit behavior too, is to pull away. And achieve that awareness or that knowledge through doing that. And when we've done that, and even if we are still doing that, we do gain something from that. But I do still feel like there's still, with this run here, there's something that, although we maintain a clarity and a sense of forgiveness, there's still some emotional stuff and some pain from the past that we're not sure. Like, I almost want to ask, is it ours to clear up? Is it ours to fix? Because I feel like in the past, your answer was to sort of move beyond it, no longer engage in it. And that's fine. I think that was the right thing to do. Let's look at this Queen of Cups. So we have the Knight of Cups. We have the Four of Swords. And we have the Queen of Pentacles. It's weird to me. I really do feel like this is a relationship. I don't know much about your family, and if it is family or a good girlfriend, I feel like this is you, the Queen of Pentacles, because we have all of this Pentacles here. I feel like you were equal to her, or you two were very much in sync. I feel like the Four of Swords is that retreat or that pullback. We also see that here in the Hermit. She may have pulled back from you too, or there needed to be some sort of pullback on both ends where there was a pause in communication. And that was not necessarily a bad thing, but this Knight of Cups to me says that there is a love or a respect, something between the two of you that I almost feel like is missed. But it's like, do we trust it? Can we go back there? Let's look at this Seven of Wands. We have the Six of Cups. That's like family nostalgia, good tidings, all of that stuff, emotional well-being. The Two of Cups, that would be about like love, appreciation of oneself. And then the Queen of Swords. I almost feel like this Queen of Swords is in direct conflict to that Six of Cups. And I do feel like, I don't know why, I feel like these two things are connected. It's almost like you can't be the Queen of Pentacles with this situation anymore. You can't sort of meet them where they need you to or where they ask you to. You have to be almost decisive like the Queen of Swords and free yourself, no matter what the love or the nostalgia or the bonds are there. Like, yes, there is Like I almost feel like this queen is sending the knight to the Queen of Pentacles, which would be you maybe say in the past or as you are now, trying to sort of acknowledge or send you that sort of like reconnection, right? Or that love. But I feel over here, it's like, no, we need to stand our ground, which would be the Seven of Wands. And then we see this nostalgia of the Six of Cups, which is about family, nostalgia, well-being, good feelings, all of that. And the Two of Cups, which to me feels like these two queens, and we have these two women talking in the center too. But this Queen of Swords, she's like looking right at this center card where this Ace of Swords is it's like, and she's holding up her hand to me. It almost feels like she's saying like, no, don't make that mistake again. I'm just going for the outcome card really quick. The outcome is the Two of Pentacles. So that's about maintaining balance. And we're back to this Pentacles energy, which we see as sort of like how I see as your center, or where you're at, where you've been at, maybe trying to be practical, trying to be discerning. Let me just see here. It's almost like, I wonder, is there somebody that you're thinking about letting back into your life or letting further into your life? I mean, I've been reading for you a bit, so I don't want it, I kind of asked this morning before doing this reading, I wanted to be reading, I don't want it to be about like the move and the significant other guy that you've been talking to me about. I wanted to see something different for you today because we're going general. We have that Empress, which she was your outcome the last time. We have the Queen of Cups. And we have that Eight of Swords that popped out earlier. Okay, so what I think this is, and this is hard for me because I feel like I'm like talking a little bit into the ethers because obviously we're not on the phone and we're not live, and that's fine. I'm just going to go with what I feel like the story is here and what I see going on here. I feel like this Queen of Cups, we're not sure about her. I feel like she shows back up in the outcome, right? She's trying to turn back up in the outcome. She might be a little bit on her better behavior, but I feel like you are this Empress. We saw this Empress in your last reading too that I did for you, I believe. She was up here in the outcome too. And I think that this is the culmination of what I saw as this conversation that's happening in the Six of Pentacles. I think that the Six of Pentacles has a dual meaning. I feel like this is you and your higher self maybe having a discussion right in the center of your world. But I also feel like this is like an old friendship or something that, you know, we maybe are feeling some sort of pull or tug to want to go back and fix, or we've been reflecting upon it. Clear thoughts and ideas have like allowed us to sort of step away. We maybe had to step away in the past. That would be the Six of Swords here. When we see this step away or this withdrawal on both sides here, I even feel that this Queen of Pentacles, which to me represents you, she feels forlorn here in how this situation has gone between these two. And so we have the Pentacles here, and Pentacles here. That's why it reminds me of you. I'm just trying to explain that a little bit. Then when we get up here, we have it ending out on a Two of Pentacles, right? Which is sort of, again, your energy, which I'm fine with. It's about maintaining balance and sort of trying to, like, deal with this situation sort of the best way you know how and maintain everything. The Empress comes in, which is Venus energy, but she's also Taurus. She is that sort of earthy, she's like the Queen of Pentacles on steroids, right? So this is you as the outcome. It's like we're staying true to ourselves. We're doing what we need to do. We're still being loving, possibly loving towards this Queen of Cups, right? But there's still the Eight of Swords indicates this feeling of being trapped or confused, not quite sure. Should I do this? Should I not? The thing with the Eight of Swords is that we will be free of this confusion at some point in time, but we have to figure out that we are free of it. There's always this castle in the background that indicates there's something beyond the stuck feeling that we might be feeling. And I'm not saying that we're stuck here, but she is in this Two of Pentacles standing on top of this building. She doesn't have a lot of room to move. So if we let this person back into our life, or we let this situation, this emotionality back into our life, I mean, let's say this Queen of Cups isn't a person. Maybe it's just overly emotional, situations that normally would push all of our emotional buttons while we're trying to sort of stay grounded and centered. If we let that back in, we could find ourselves sort of mentally racked or stuck again, and we don't want to necessarily allow that to happen. That's the preciseness of this Queen of Swords here, where it's like we need to stand our ground, and this Seven of Wands energy is this opportunity to sort of stand our ground, but also free ourselves from whatever, pushes our buttons or maybe gets to us. And yes, we can think back like in nostalgia and in love and stuff like that, but we have to maintain that clear thought and that preciseness. Almost like putting ourselves first and foremost. The interesting thing about this is we have so much. I know you had me take all the men out of the cards, and that's fine, but we have like Queen, 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 Empress, and another Queen. There's a lot of that going on there. I do like the foundation. The foundation is set up on this idea of answering a higher call, going towards what you know to be spiritually correct and true, what is more peaceful in your mind. There may have been a really good connection between you and this person if this is a separate person at one point in time in the past, but you maybe don't feel as though you can have that connection now, even though you may miss this person, still care for them deeply, even like long for them at times. That's this Five of Cups. But it's like, I almost get a feeling like when you two are together, pain can be caused. Confusion, upset, a feeling of being stuck. Doesn't necessarily mean that this person's not going to come back into your life. It just means that you have to be almost like very grounded, discerning, and based in love if you allow them to, and don't let them sort of, I don't want to say entrap you or make you feel trapped, but confuse you in such a way that you do feel trapped. Ultimately, like the run that's happening in your higher self is very clear and beautiful. This Ace of Cups, the Sun, the Knight of Wands, and the Hermit, all of this says, listen to your higher self, listen to your knowledge, listen to your emotions, yes, but be careful, because there is this depth of emotion that is in your higher self that may want to tell you, oh, I can do this, I can be beyond this, but this Queen of Swords to me says, no, maybe you can't. They could potentially, this situation or this person could potentially hurt you again, as they have maybe in the past. But to me, when I look at these cards, it also feels like this relationship is/was important to you. If this is a relationship outside of you, if this is an actual person, like a family member or something. I mean, I'm almost even wondering, is this somebody that could be passed on? That there was something left unsaid, something left undone, that we maybe can't get changed in a way. And the reason why I say that is because we have this Four of Swords, which, although this is a retreat or meditation, this could be a passing here, and this could also indicate that sort of feeling of being stuck, because we cannot necessarily rectify this situation with whoever this person was, or we can't feel as though we can physically rectify it, because they may no longer be around us or near us. They may no longer be in a physical body. But if that is the case, they are around us. This Queen of Cups is up here. So she is around us maybe in spirit, and she still does love us. And I think that she's actually here to try and help us to achieve this seat of the Empress, right? This goal and this awareness of who we are and what we're worth, and free us from our own personal trappings of our mind, of any sort of regret or shame or whatever that we may carry from things left unsaid. I know that sounds rather specific, and that may have no bearing on your life. I'm not sure, because I'm not talking to you live to know that, but that's also kind of sort of where I could see these things are going. These cards. And if this is a person outside of you, whether it's still in body or incarnate or discarnate, this Four of Wands down here also says to me that this person, you two were connected. That's why I almost feel like this could be a family member or a very dear friend, because this would be that sort of connection on a soul level where, we may have had to decide to move away or step away to protect them or ourselves. And in doing that, at the time, it may have been the best thing for us, but potentially do we regret having done that? Or do we wonder? I hope that makes sense. You're going to have to let me know. That is your reading for today. I hope you're grounding wherever you are. If this makes sense, please just send me back a little note and let me know that indeed it does. And I will talk to you soon. All right. I hope this was clear. It's just definitely like how I feel these cards, or what these cards are trying to tell me. All right. I will talk to you soon. Take care. All right. Bye-bye.